Recently, guys, the Xbow has been one of the strongest buildings in the game, which is pretty surprising considering not too long ago it was pretty bad as a win condition, but now it's one of the strongest again. And I think a few reasons for that is because of the evolved Tesla buff, which has greatly helped the card out. But also, on top of that, it's because of the Dagger Duchess. A few days ago, I made a video on the Princess being very strong because it's one of the few cards where you can actually avoid how strong the Duchess is by playing her at the bridge. And well, it's kind of the same case with the Xbow. And the other thing is Xbow decks have the rocket in it, which is another way you can pretty easily get damage without, of course, having to worry about the Duchess, because the rocket just goes directly on the tower, which is why we're seeing more and more people running Xbow in this meta. So this guy's got the Mother Witch here. We're just going to go in for a Tesla here. I'm hoping we are able to take out the Mother Witch. If we can't, that could be a bit problematic. Log here, and there we go. We're actually going to get a massive Xbow lock over here. It looks like this is just a minor control deck. He might be using Poison or the Rocket. I'm not entirely sure, but that is a massive, massive Xbow connection to start things off, which is exactly what you want to go for. When you're running Xbow, oftentimes you're not able to get a lock in in double or triple elixir, so your best bet is oftentimes going to be single. So I'm very, very happy to see that, because that's going to make things just so much easier for the rest of the match here. And he's going to go in for Tesla. I'm going to go in for a Knight here to protect this Little Prince. A lot of people are running Little Prince in Xbow. It's just a very nice combination to have because you get that 3-card cycle when it's down. He's going to go in for the Knight, and I think I'm just going to let this be. What I'll actually do is I'm going to go for the Evo Tesla here. It's going to reset the Mother Witch, and if we get another Xbow lock here, it's probably going to end up being game, potentially. Let's see if we get the log going in here. He goes in for the Evo Skellies. There we go, another Xbow lock, and that's probably the nail in the coffin for him. As you see, he poisons the King Tower, so that's going to be a really nice and easy game one. We'll just go ahead and 3-crown him, I guess. Sometimes this is what ends up happening. You're just able to overwhelm them very well in single, and then they're unable to come back. There we go. Nice and easy to crown with Xbow. You don't often get 3 crowns with Xbow, but when they give up, that's when it ends up happening usually. We're going to match here against Nova Mohammed. We'll just split our skeletons here, and he's going to go for a Zap, so that probably means he's got a heavier deck if I had to guess. I think we'll probably... Okay, he's just going to go for a Ghost, so maybe he's running Pekka. There's a high chance of that because Zap and Ghost go well together inside a Pekka bridge spam, so we'll see if that is the case. And he's got a Little Prince as well, so high chance it's Pekka, which means it's probably a pretty good matchup for Xbow. It's really difficult for the Pekka player to break through an evolved Tesla, especially, let alone the regular Tesla. That's already hard enough. So let's go for a Tesla here, see what he wants to do. So that Bandit is just going to get dealt with really easily, and I think at this point we maybe are able to set up an Xbow here pretty soon. Let's actually go Xbow, because we have the Tesla still up. Perfect timing, because he just went for a Pekka in the back. That's going to be a really big Xbow lock for us. And wow, yeah, he's not even playing an E-Wiz or anything. He's waiting a while. He zaps to reset, but at that point, that's already a massive Xbow connection. So an incredible start for us, and this is generally what happens against Pekka Bridge Spam. It's really difficult. I might actually rocket this. I think it's honestly not a bad play, because we're hitting the Pekka and the Wizard, and that Knight's down, so it's something he's got to respond unless he wants to take a couple shots from it on the tower. And then I have Little Prince and Skellies in cycles, so we have enough defense for him if he decides to do anything. We just log here, so that's a nice positive trade there. 3 for 4 on the Battle Ram, and already a fantastic start to this match. Honestly, at this point, I don't even think I have to play another offensive Xbow. We probably could just get away with rocket cycling. That is what Xbow does best, and probably what people hate the most about Xbow, especially in this meta, because Xbow is almost always paired with the Rocket. So we're going to go Little Prince here, same lane as his Little Prince, and even though I said we don't really need to go in for an Xbow again, I think I'm going to do it anyway, just because I think we have a high chance of getting a lock without too much issue. We can just go for a log here, and then we just need an E-Spirit to reset that. And then he's going to go for an Evolve Wizard. We can Tesla here to retarget the Wizard onto the Tesla, and it forces him to go for an Evolve Zap. So that is going to take out the Xbow pretty well, so that was pretty good defense on his end. I think we're going to Xbow, though, because we still have the Evo Tesla, some health remaining, so we might as well. Nice. We do get that Knight down just in the nick of time for that Bandit, and that's going to force him to have to go for a defensive Battle Ram, which is definitely not what he wanted to do. Look at how much Elixir he had to commit just to deal with that Xbow. That is so annoying for him, and that's exactly why, yeah, he's even calling a good game. I mean, Pekka is one of the easiest matchups by far for Xbow. Like, you definitely should, if you're an Xbow player, you should have this down. This should just be routine, ideally. So he's going to go in for a Pekka in the back. What we can actually do is go for a defensive Xbow, especially because he has the Void. It's going to be very effective, because if he decides to, yeah, I was going to say go for a Void, we can just protect it, and then the Xbow's still alive, and it's going to get more than enough value despite him going for a Void on it. And this is kind of where you just turtle up and literally just play full defense mode, and then it's just impossible for them to break through. So he's got the Ghost coming in. We just get a Knight down for that, and then we're completely fine. And he's going to Pekka on the back, so I am actually going to go in for an Xbow here, just because, I mean, he played the tank in the other lane, and I just missed the log. That is not optimal at all. I think our Tesla needs to be kind of played like this, so we're supporting the Xbow, but also making sure we deal with the Pekka simultaneously. I really think that was probably the best placement to go for there, and as you see, it's effectively dealing with the Pekka, but it's also going to deal with the Wizard in the opposite lane. So that's kind of one of the key things with Xbow, making sure your Tesla placements are on point, knowing when to play them high up, when to play them low. Really depends on the situation and the spells they have, so I mean, it takes a bit of practice for sure, knowing the placement of the Teslas. So he's going to go for a Wizard, which actually ends up sniping the Tesla. That was honestly a pretty smart play on his end, but there's just very little he can do. I kind of feel bad for him. We're just going to try to end his suffering a little quicker by going for an Xbow, seeing if we can get a lock. It's kind of our last chance of trying to make that happen, especially with the Void kind of wiping out most of the Xbow there. I don't think we're going to be able to get another connection, but at the bare minimum, make sure we get the win and don't throw the game, because that would be pretty embarrassing if we lost, especially in this situation. Keep the Pekka off of the Tesla, and that is going to be a very nice and easy win here against Pekka Bridge Spam, a deck I don't see too often in the meta, probably because of all the Evolved Tesla, and honestly the other cards, like the Log Bait 2, very annoying for Pekka, and even some of the Giant decks counter it too, so that really goes to show it's not really in the best spot right now, but we are going to pick up another win. We're in a match here against Dexter's. We'll just cycle a Log here to kick things off. I think it's just a relatively safe starting play, and he's going to Lava first play. Wow, very bold maneuver by him. I guess he's not that afraid to do that. To be fair, most Lava players do like to go Lava first play. In fact, when I'm running Lava, I often do that as well, so I certainly don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because it actually is quite a good play, to be fair. So we're going to Rocket here, and that's going to be able to effectively clean up all the Lava Pups as well as the Balloon. I didn't even need that E-Spirit there. I did that, though, just in case if he decided to try to get a little fancy with a Zap or something, just to ensure that we were able to wipe out all those units, and we're off to an okay start, I guess. I mean, I had to commit a ton of Elixir to defend, but at least now we know what he's running, so there's not going to be any surprises there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just Expo here. This is kind of going to tell us what variation he has. And he's going to go, okay, Valk and Inferno Drag. I'm really happy I didn't end up supporting the Expo too early. That would have ended up being kind of a bad play, I feel like. And he is going to avoid that, so we are going to have to get a Knight down. And he decided to Snowball. That Snowball wasn't really that good. It kind of didn't really do anything for him. I think he thought I wasn't going to play anything, maybe, so he was trying to get like a cheeky Inferno Drag lock there on the tower, which would have been really unfortunate. I think that's what he was going for, but it didn't really, well, obviously go well for him. So we're just going to E-Spirit in the back, and then I'm going to go in for an Expo, and then I think this time around I am, okay, he's going to go in for a Balloon, so I definitely want a Tesla here, just so we make sure that Balloon doesn't end up going on the Expo. And that really is unfortunate he was able to get that Bomber on top of the Expo, because if that didn't happen, we would have pretty much probably almost taken his whole tower, but that's okay. I think let's just go Evo Skellies here and then go for a Knight. This is going to make things kind of annoying for him. He's going to have to deal with this instead of going in for a Lava. He has to deal with that first, and the Valk is going to clean that up, which is okay. We're just going to go in for an Expo here, and then let's get an Evo Tesla going. He's going to Inferno Drag. Wow, we got to watch out, because he's probably going to, he voided the Tesla instead of the Expo. So look at that massive Expo connection we got there. That is honestly huge. He's going to, okay, hold up. We got to watch out for that Evo Bomber. Oh, the Little Prince didn't get taken out. That is huge for us. We get this Tesla going here, and then let's do this. I hope I don't have to rocket. If I end up taking a ton of damage there, I'm going to regret not going for a rocket. Let's just get a Tesla going at this point, And this should be a-okay defensively here. I think we'll be fine. We just got to do that. And let's see. We've got to keep this Inferno Drag off of the tower, ideally. We set up a Tesla here. He ended up getting the... we got the King activated. That's actually kind of wild. I wasn't expecting that happening. Got to reset that Inferno Drag, get it on top of the Skellies as well. And he's actually going to Void. We're going to Xbow. And he's going to have to, yeah, go Valk. I was going to say that definitely was his only play there. We're going to get a little Prince going. It's going to target the Bomber. And he's not going to have any more tanks. He has to go for a Balloon. So as long as this Xbow can get a ton of damage, it's pretty much... let's see. Maybe we want to get a rocket going here, and then we'll cycle back to another rocket. Yeah, he has to go lava at the bridge. So, okay, he's going to arrow. Let's get a Tesla going, and then we just have to go E-Spirit, rocket, and that should be game. There's no way that lava's going to get 500 damage. There we go. That's going to be a nice win against lava. Ended up being kind of close. Actually, he played that quite well because I think that is a pretty good matchup for Xbow, but we got the win. That's going to be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Xbow's definitely OP in this meta. I think me running this right now in the top 200 kind of proves that because I'm not even that good of an Xbow player, but that is how good it is as a win condition. You can use credit code BOSS to support me in a Supercell game. Thanks again. Until next time, guys.